right along.
Go.
Charlie was saying, look at him. If anybody,
So I
they're
guess
slowing him down.
1916 had that fender on front. Look at, see the back one? After that, they were grounded like the back, like the back. So I thought it's about 1916.
Well, you know, not 60 to go anyway. You know, I've known guys that can curse this stuff.
941.
These people right now are fertilizing ground. So I said, I wonder if some of the guys
942 and 941.
had the choice. They'd rather go on the swim pool or grab a and I think
My son liked that dump truck.
Yeah. They're going to have a job.
Where's the fire?
Daddy, I got up this way, and I think I'm gonna go down there.
Is that the last one?
That's the biggest one, yeah. You knew that was going to happen. Some jerk's got to come along every time. Hold it. Yeah, you won't have any big problem. You missed. Melissa? gotta get that.
We're a team. You're the camera, I get the radio. I wouldn't know the first thing about that, you wouldn't know about that.
How fast can you? Shh.
He was going to stop just for a minute. He's going to make a phone call, get a hold of the cops down there.
Why is he saying all that? He's in my car.
Habitation peut héberger les personnes.
Penelope Ann Miller is sympathetic.
Don's got something to say first on account of the time thing, so.
Okay, there is a parade today in Rutland. And Davy Dow says that Rutland's about 80 miles from here, and you can't get there from here. And its sign-up time is supposed to be at noon, and the parade at 1. If we're leaving it up to you people to hash it over, if you think you want to try to make Rutland, Francis says we'll cut this session short. If you say it's too tight a schedule, if you've done enough driving and the hell with the parade, then God knows when we'll get out of here. So think it over as Francis talks and
or else,
give us back some input on it, whether you want to bother it or not.
You know, or else if there's not half of you that wants to go, just a couple, go ahead and go now if you want. I mean,
But you can stay a while.
sure, you can stay a little while.
Yeah, you know, it's
play it by ear.
We just played it by ear. We got the notice of it. We didn't know at the time where we were going to be today in relation to Rutland. And, so it's you know, it's up to everybody whatever they want to do. I just want to let you know it was there. Maybe we just get to Rutland and sit on the sideline for watch it for a week. Whatever.
Well, one more time, thank you very much for getting here. It's been a struggle, but made it one more time. About one of the worst things I think a truck driver can do, this is what I've brought up, the absolute worst, is stop in the middle of a hill. And I did it yesterday, so I've come a long ways. I'm really doing good. I don't know what the CDL thing is, how that's going to affect that, but I'll probably never have one of them either. But I've listened to my dad harp about any blankety blank on and on person that would ever stop a vehicle, much a loaded vehicle, and I think we classify as a loaded vehicle yesterday, and we just about got things together when we stopped. And I really do know how frustrating that was, I'll tell you, I really do, and it's my fault, and I'm sorry for it, and so I feel real bad about that. And then I thought I was going to be cute and do something kind of nice, and got Charlie all screwed up in the rocks over there, and I'm real sorry about that.
But we had fun.
That's the fun of it.
It was.
Don't worry about
That's
that.
what makes the tour. Yeah.
Everything go back, no scratches, no nothing, no problem.
We all came back in one piece.
No scratches, no nothing. Good sense.
But anyways, I feel bad about that too. The sponsorship this year, of course, is kind of sluggish, I guess. That's the way you say it on Wall Street or something. But I'm going to try to thank the ones that I can remember. I suppose I'm probably going to leave out 3 or 4. If I do, well, please speak up. But I wanted to thank Dick Guerrera for all he did. He's helped out a lot this year. And for those of you who don't know, he's from Naugatuck, Connecticut, down near Waterbury. And he's been in the trucking business, I guess, most of his life. And Don and Marilyn Smith, they always do an awful lot to help, and I really appreciate that. I don't see Jim Flett here.
They just went to see where he is.
He's
Oh.
down by his truck, friends.
Oh.
They've gone down again.
Okay. Well, I wanted to thank Jim, but I'll wait for that. And of course, Bob Velpe, he's gone. I wanted to thank Bob an awful lot because he helped too, which he has done in the past, and I appreciate that. There's a local fellow here, and I guess he's not here. He kind of thought he would be, but I don't see him. And H.A. Minash, he just down around the corner down here. He drills wells, and he's a contractor, and I've known him for 30 years. And awful nice guy, and when I talked to him about doing this in this area here, 3 months ago, he did an awful lot to help out. I mean, it don't show right here, but I can tell you that he did, and I wanted to thank him an awful lot. And then the GMC garage down in Fitchburg, Chap Delaney's, they gave us some flaps here, and they were kind of a little bit disappointed that we didn't start down there again this year. So I said, well, let's see what we can do in the future. But they did a lot last year, and they wanted to do more this year, and but they gave the flaps, and so that's Mark, and I don't remember what his brother is, but the two of them, and they're awful nice people. I want to thank them. And Jack McDivitt from Manchester Mac, down in Manchester, we started there this year. And for those of you that weren't there on Friday, and he gave coffee and donuts and stuff, and gave us a nice place to start from, and helped out an awful lot. He always has every year, and I want to thank him a lot. And Mike and Marwood Davidson, the Davidson family, they helped too, and I appreciate that. Thank you for that. And I don't know, Marilyn, is there somebody I've forgotten that you know of? Or Brett, is there somebody? No? Okay. So.
Francis.
Well, it's just by coming, so it's all I need. And of course, my son is here this year. This is the 13th year, his first time he's here. And I feel real bad about that. And I guess Reverend Smith is going to take over and do the services and so on. And maybe before I do that, if there's anybody that's got anything to say, you know, go ahead and say it. Or yes, Charlie. Yes, please.
I'd just like to remind everyone, Shirley and I
Come right up there, Charlie. Come right up. Come right on up.
We thought it'd be nice to have a little parade in support of our troops. We got the permit long before the war ended, because you have to have a permit for a parade. And so this is being sponsored. We're hosting it, and it's being sponsored by USO in Boston. And it's going to be on Mother's Day. It's the only day that we could have this. It's not going to be an all-day thing. We're going to meet, we're going to assemble at the Victoria Diner on Massachusetts Avenue at the meat packing plant. Massachusetts Avenue is one of the main streets. It's right across from Lilly Truck Leasing. We'd like to have everyone that could possibly come with a truck. We hope to have at least 50 trucks. And those of you that have friends, the people that don't have trucks, would like to have you come to the reviewing. We're going to assemble from 10 to 11:30 at the Victoria Diner on Mass Avenue. We're going to have a little tour of Boston, and we're going to have the viewing at City Hall Plaza right on the bricks. So anyone that got a little truck that leaks oil like mine will just bring a cardboard or some rags or something. But anyway,
we hope to have, we're supposed to have media coverage, TV, the mayor is supposed to be there. Those of you that would like to bring your wife or mother, there's plenty of places after the show that you can go, you know, the market district's right there, Faneuil Hall to eat or whatever, and hopefully we can get enough people to come in. So we'd like all of you and those that have friends with trucks, you know, you can tell your friends we'd like to have them come. One more thing is as you know, I'm the president, I took over, I won't take over the presidency. We couldn't get anyone to take it over, so I said I would do it for a year if this thing's going to last that long. We've been having problems with, I don't want to go into it, with ATHS. They seem to be against the New England people. We're going to see how they treat us at this convention. And if they don't change their ways, well, we're going to have a meeting and find out what we're going to do about it, but we can get into that later. We hung one of the posters up. If anyone gets there and would like to volunteer, Herb Fleck is the man that's taking charge. The most work there is the parking, the offloading and loading. So if anybody would like to do anything, there's going to be a trailer there. Give your name to Herb Fleck so we can call. He's got quite a few people now. As far as Francis saying he screwed up a little, his good outweighs his bad, so. I think he made a hero out of me. I just like that.
You said you were good.
Well, I just like to let people know. One guy said, he said, my friend went through there with a 48-foot trailer. Well, a lot of people don't understand trailers. I do. Jimmy Flett certainly does. A low bed has an 18-inch pin setting back.
Would you like some assistance?
No, not really. Everybody hear me? Sure.
You know what? Oh, now?
Yes.
Oh. Go ahead.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bray. Happy birthday to you.
Look at his chains after told you.
Francis, are you doing announcements or anything now, or is it the wrong time?
No.
Raj might have an announcement.
You have to keep it up. It's the only weekend a year I get away from my wife.
Don't tell her I said that.
And she knows that as long as you're with me, it's nothing's going to happen. Jim Flatway in the back there, he's a new fella here. I went down to Massachusetts here a while ago and twisted his arm and everything, and I want to thank you so much for coming, Jim. You know, you have a beautiful truck, and you made it, and I know you got a million things going on, and I just want to thank you a lot for coming. Okay, Jim. I'll keep you posted. Well, I guess that's about it. Anybody else wants to say anything? Go on. So I guess we'll have Reverend Smith take over the services from here. There, a couple of them. What's it fit? Okay, good. All right. Okay, here and over there, we got the Chevrolet fender. Yeah, you certainly can. Number 22.
No, we have an awful time getting rice to get them, keep running.
Yes, sure.
add some additive for your fuel.
Got maps here, and you got this and this. Did you say they fit shovel?
Hey, this man might want that fender.
Oh, yeah? Chevrolet man?
Yeah.
Or Chevrolet fender? How do you know what it is? Maybe. Number 15.
We have 3 small t-shirts left. If anybody wants them, they can have them.
Attention professional truck drivers, New Hampshire State Truck Driving Championships, Manchester, New Hampshire Airport, Saturday, June 1st and Sunday, June 2nd. That, we'll just let that lay there for any of you who want a copy of it.
This here is a parade in Barnstead, New Hampshire. Don't look on the map. It's there.
Right near Epsom.
It's a parade for the troops. It's a welcome back parade. We held June 29th, 10 a.m. And they want anybody that knocks antique cars, anything. With me with the rest of this. I'm going to have to. Can everybody hear me all right?
Speak up.
Speak up. Speak up. Okay. Try it. I have not done this for about 3 years, so I may stumble all over myself, and I'm pretty good at it. Those of you that are new on this, I've been the resident comedian here, I guess so to speak, for the past 6 or 8 years.
And a darn good one, I'll add.
Thank you.
Uppers and lowers.
Yeah.
Beach not.
Kill dry.
Kill dry.
Go
ahead, do it one more time, Don.
Another 10 years, you'll have it down pat.
Yeah, do it one more time.
I second that.
I like
All those
it.
in favor, one more time.
One more time.
Shall I start with that?
Yeah. There's some new ones here I've tried to explain to, but I made an awful mess out of it, so you really should straighten it out. Yeah.
Well, before we get to that one, I have another one. I have 2 things that I do. I imitate a French-Canadian guide, hunter, fisherman guide. His name is Jean-Baptiste. Oh, yeah. And the other bit that I do is down Maine, North Country type stories. And I have a friend of mine who does this professionally, and occasionally we go with him and video him and so forth. And we went with him a couple of winters ago. And he came up with this one, and I thought it was kind of unique, and I thought I'd pass it on to you. A fellow and his girl got married, and they had the wedding, and they had the reception. And for their honeymoon, they were going to take the boat from Bar Harbor to Yarmouth. And as they were going up the gangplank, she turned to him, and she said, "Oh my God," she said, "I forgot my birth control pills." And she says, "And I don't have anything for your seasickness." He says, "Well, that's no problem." He said, "There's a drugstore right over there, and the boat does not sail for another 10 minutes. He says, "I'll run over to the drugstore." So he went over, and he said to the druggist, "I want 2 dozen condoms and a bottle of 250 tablets of Dramamine." The druggist went and got the condoms, and he got the Dramamine, and he came back, and he said, "Fella, it's probably none of my damn business. But if it makes you that sick, why in hell you do it?" So with that, I will have to tell you about old Elmer Adams, who was out on his tractor, carrying up a field, and up came a thunderstorm. And they can come in a second. And with the first clap of thunder, of course, came a bolt of lightning. And the bolt of lightning hit the harrow. Went into the harrow, split off, went here and there. Part of it came up through the tractor, and some of it went up through poor old Elmer. And in the process, it welded his dentures right together in his mouth. he got back to the house and he went in and he and his wife finally pried these things out of his mouth. And they're a mangled up mess of porcelain and whatever's in false teeth. So he went to the dentist and he said, can you repair these? And he says, can't do anything with those. He said, how much for a new set? He said, $450. Oh God, I haven't made that kind of money. So I just bought all my seed. Bad winter. He said, I just don't have that kind of money. He says, I've heard. He says, over the next town, there's a fellow there's a dealer for these hand-carved, kiln-dried, beech and maple uppers and lowers. He says, do you know anything about them? And the dentist says, no, I've heard of them. He says, I don't know anything about them. Well, he said, I understand they're pretty reasonable. I'm going over and see him. So he went over and he told the fellow the situation. He said, there'll be $125 for a set of hand-carved, kiln-dried, beech and maple, uppers and lowers. So he said, well, how much of a job is it to break these in? Do they really hurt? And he said, well, I don't know. He said, I don't have any. I have my own teeth. He said, I just sell them. He said, I'll tell you, he said, down back. He says, on down there. He says, look at the calendar. He says, it's Wednesday. He said, there's a fellow down there that's got a set of them. And I sold them to him. Every Wednesday, he's down there fishing. He and his wife come out here fishing. He said, you get out there, you'll probably catch him. So he went down to the edge of the pond, and sure enough, the guy's out the boat, he and his wife. He hauled it up to him, asked him, called him a name. He said, I want to know how much of a job it is. He's hauling across the pond. To break in those hand-carved, kiln-dried, beech and maple, uppers and lowers. He found the boat and said, I'll be in a minute. So he rowed in the shore, and he said, God, he said, we, wife and I, just enjoy coming out here on Wednesdays, get all the chores done, and go fishing. He said, I bring 2 beers, she has iced tea, she puts a little gin in it, sometimes gets a little blow on, and we have a great old time. Oh, I got a million things to do. That's, how much of a job is it to break in these hand-carved, kiln-dried, beech and maple, uppers and lowers? Well, he said, you know, it's just so relaxing to come out here in this boat, he said, and fish and enjoy ourselves. But poor old Elmer, he's going nuts about now trying to get an answer. He said, you know, last week, he said, we came out here, this beautiful day, he said. You know, I bought 2 beers. And I guess Ma got her ingredients a little mixed up in her iced tea and gin. It was kind of gin and a little bit of iced tea. We're out here about an hour. And he said, we weren't catching nothing. And she stood up in the boat. And she said, you're having no luck with the fishing pole. Why don't you try your luck over here? And she pulled her skirt out. Didn't have a damn thing on underneath. And about that time, she lost her balance. He says, I stood up to grab her so she wouldn't fall over. And I stepped on a beer bottle, and I lost my balance. And I went on the side of the boat, and I got my privates caught in the oar. And he says, I want to tell you the pain that I suffered was nothing compared to breaking in there. John Baptiste's part, it really requires that I be introduced, but we probably don't need that. So I should start off as if I was just introduced by Francis as the speaker today. And I have to say, Merci beaucoup, ladies and gentlemen. I have to, how you say, apologize, for you have to listen to a poor dumb Frenchman whose English is so damn bad that there are times himself he does not understand. You see, I do not have too much of the education. I was to school 3 days only. 2 days I stayed home. The 3rd day the teacher was out sick. I asked Francois, my friend, what do I talk about? Here I am, a poor Frenchman from the backwoods, and you people are the truck enthusiasts. And he told me, you just tell how you grew up when you was a little boy and what you do. So I guess what I do is start to tell you about my life. I was born in Somersworth, New Hampshire, which is called the Hilltop City. I was born on the hill, not the bottom, halfway up. And my father, he worked in the shoe shop. And when come the big crash on Wall Street in 1929, by the next spring was no work. So my father, he'd go up north. And he gone about a week. And he came back, and he said to my mother, I have buy a piece of land, and we are going to farm. So he go out, and I think it was about $22. You people here, you like to spend $22. Buy a Model T truck. And we load everything we have, and we go north. We get up there, and he have buy a piece of land on both sides of the street. One side is a little old schoolhouse, we have to live in that, and on the other side we farm. Well, my father, he was the rough man. The rough man only on the outside. He worked like a son of a gun. He planted the tree, he had the crop, he raised the cow, he raised the pig. Inside, he liked to sing to the church. But he a hard man on the outside. My father, he also, is how you say, of the old school. When he go to bed at night, he do not wear the pajama or the night shirt. No. He sleep in the raw. One night he is sound asleep. My mother, she poked him with an elbow, just about break the rib. She said, Gene, you get up. There's a noise in the end house. Maybe it's a robber, maybe it's the fox. You go. So he gets out of bed, and all he do is put on his feet the shoe pack. And he start down the stairs. Just as he go out the door, he reach up, he grab the old double-barrel shotgun from the wall. Well, he go across the yard. The old hound dog, he was asleep in his house. He hear these screen doors closed. He look out his house. He said, where the hell he go this time of night? Maybe I better go along. So I tell you, oh, that was a dark night. It was like being in the middle of a cold pile. By the time my father gets to the end house, I tell you, the goosebump was standing about that high. The old hound dog, he is right behind me. But my father, he don't know this. He reached up, and he turned the button on the door. He pulled back both hammer on the double-barrel shotgun, and just as he go to push open the door, the old hound dog was put his whole nose on my father. You know, it took us 2 days to pick and clean all those chickens. The other day, I get a letter from my mother. She write to me, my dear French-Canadian male son, John. Just a few lines to let you know that I am alive. I am writing this letter slowly because I know that you cannot read fast.
Sad part is true.
You will not know the house when you come home to visit. You will not recognize it. We moved. When we were in the process of moving, I find your whole winter coat. You have looked a long time for that coat. I am going to mail it to you. To save weight, I take off the buttons. They are in the left-hand pocket. There was a wash machine in the new house when we moved in. But it worked not too good. Last week I put in 14 shirts. Pulled the chain. Ain't seen them since. Your papa has a new job. He has under him 426 people. He cut the grass at the cemetery. Your sister Pauline this morning was having a baby. I haven't found out yet whether boy or girl. so cannot tell you whether you hunt or humble. Your poor Uncle Pierre last week, he drowned in a vat of whiskey in Three River, Quebec. Some of his workmates dive in to save him, but he fight them hot and brave. We have his body cremated. Took 3 days for fire to go out. Your papa did not have too much to drink since Christmas. When he was not looked, I put in the castor oil in his beer. Kept him going till New Year's Day. She said, I went to the doctor last Tuesday and Papa came with me. The doctor put in my mouth a small tube and told me not to open for 10 minutes. Your Papa say, how much is that tube? I was like, it only rained twice this week. First for 3 days and then for 4. Monday it was so windy that one of our chickens laid the same egg 3 times. We got the letter from the undertaker. He said if the last payment on your grandma not paid in 10 days, up she comes. It's signed your loving mom. Oh, she had a P.S. I was going to send you $20, but I already sealed the envelope.
Yes.
We live on the farm for quite a few years. And my father, he had the cow. He always buy the Jersey cow. It had the real rich, thick milk. We not give much to it. We have a few people moving to the neighborhood, and they come and they say to my father, would you like to buy some milk from me? So my father said, well, son, forgot, I only got the one cow, just want to take care of the family. Maybe I go buy another cow. So he go out and he look around, and he came home with that big black and white cow. What do you call that thing? The Holstein. I never forget the first time my father milked the Holstein. Oh, the Holstein did plenty milk. He sat there and he put, and he put, and he put. The 3-finger exercise. And he got a hell of a big bucket of milk. He tasted the milk. He pick up the bucket, he go up front with the cow, and he stick the cow's nose in the milk. And I say, what you do? He said, this stuff's so damn tin. He says, I got to run it through again. After a while, as things got better and things pick up, my father decided to sell the farm and move to the village. He worked in the sawmill. And one day, my mother, she called him up at the sawmill, and she said, on your way home, you stop at the antique shop. She said, I buy the grandfather clock. I want you to pick it up. So he finished the day at the sawmill. And on the way home, he stopped at the antique shop. And he said, I am Baptiste. I have come to pick up the clock my wife bought. And they look over and tall clock in the corner, grandfather home. That's fine, how are you going to get it home? He said, I put it on my shoulder and I carry it home. You help me. So he bent down, the guy tipped the clock to me, get it on the shoulder, and he started out the door. He walked up the sidewalk. And he looked with his eye and he see come a drunk down the street. So my father is hang on to the clock. And he looked in the drunk zig and my father's egg. And then the drunk zag, my father zig. Just as they get there, they both zag at the same time, and the drunk run into my father, and down they go. My father on the bottom, the clock of my father, and the drunk on the clock. And the drunk get up and he stagger back, and he grab a hold of the lamp post, and he look at my father, and he say, Mister, why the hell can't you be like everybody else and wear a wristwatch? Then they take me to the doctor's office and they lay me on the table. And pretty soon in comes the doctor. He look at me, he fix his coat. He makes sure his king is right in the handle on his neck. This would be my heart. And he go over to me and he grabbed my leg and he gave a hell of a pull and a yank and a twist. And he said, Baptiste, your leg is broke. I said, what you think I know that, doctor? He said, how you broke your leg? And I say, oh, son of a gun, it was a Sunday, the long day to pass, and I think, what am I going to do this day? And then I think of my old friend, Joe Corey, he lived on the mountain. I say, son of a gun, I go to visit Joe. Well, it's quite a while to get to Joe. I walk all the way, and I get to the base of the mountain. Joe live on the top, not halfway. And come along one of those damn blizzards. I tell you, the snow, so you put your hand up there, you don't see it. I finally make to the cabin of Joe Corey. I knock on the door. Madame Corey opened the door. She said, come in, Baptiste. I go in. And I said, where's Joe? She said, Joe is to the village. He go down there to do some business. Maybe with the blizzard, he does not come back. She says, I have supper ready. Why don't you sit down? We have supper. So I sit down, and I have the supper with Madame. About that time, the doctor says, I do not care about Madame Corey on the mountain. Baptiste, how you broke your leg. And I said, Doc, keep your shirt on. I get it. So Madame Corey and I, we have supper, and we sit around. And Joe does not come back. She look out the window, and she say, with the blizzard, she said, you cannot go home. She said, you have to stay here. And she said, evidently, Joe will stay in the village. So we go upstairs, and there's a room, and there's a bed in the corner, and a bed in the corner. Madame Corey get in one bed, I get in the other. About 2 minutes, Madame Corey said, Baptiste, I'm cool. So I get up, and I throw back the bedspread, and I grab my top blanket, I go, I put it on Madame Corey. I say, you'll be all right? She said, maybe. I get back into bed. It's about 2 or 3 minutes more. She said, Baptiste, I still cold. Son of a gun, I get up, I throw back the bedspread, I grab the next blanket, I go, I put it over Madame Corey, I pick up the mattress, I tuck it in. I say, you'll be all right now? She said, maybe. I get back into bed, it's about 5 minutes, I'm just about to sleep, and she says, Baptiste, I still cold. Son of a gun. I said, well, I don't have too much blanket left. I look with my eye and I see on the floor the scattered rug, I say, well, maybe I can use that. About that time, the doctor said, Baptiste, I do not care about Madame Corey on the mountain. How you broke your leg? I said, oh, this morning, doc, I go to paint the shingle on the house. I get the paint, different time, I mix it up, I put the ladder. I go up to the peak, about 30 feet in the air. And as I apply the paint to the shingle, I get to think about that day 18 years ago when I visited Madame Corey. And all of a sudden it come to me what that woman wanted that night. And I get so damn mad at myself, I try to kick myself, but I lose my balance and I fall off the ladder. I was back to the village where I was brought up. And I see an old man sit on a park bed. And I said, son of a gun, it cannot be Evan Thompson. It was years ago I worked for him. So I approached this old man, and I look at him, and I say, you are Evan Thompson? And he looked at me and he says, of course I am, Baptiste. I said, son of a gun. How old are you now? He said, I'm 94. I said, good for a man 94. I said, how's your health? He says, not too bad, not too bad. He says, last year I have the tour operation. He said, I have the gallbladder out, and they work on my prostate. He said, it was quite a while to get well. Boy, for a man 94, go through that, I say, I asked him as we talk on about Richmond. Are you regular? Your bowels work good after all these years and all this operation. And he said, oh yes, 6:30 every morning. And I said, Evan, that is wonderful. He says, oh, it is. I said, why not? He said, I don't get up till 7. I have this friend of mine, his name was Jacques, and he and I, for quite a few years, we worked together. And I happened to see Jacques one day, and he is the carpenter. He has a couple of men working for him. And Jacques was working on a flagpole. And there was no rope in the flagpole. You have to replace the rope. Sometimes, I don't know about Jacques, I think there's a few bones missing, not talked down right, but he was a guy, he was something. So Jacques is trying to run a ruler up the flagpole, and you get about 2/3 the way up, and it's broken. And one of his men is tied stone to a piece of string, trying to throw up and grab the string just to get to the pulley. And I come along and I say to Jacques, what do you do? He said, I have to put a new rope. He said, in the flagpole, I want to see how much rope I need. I said, Jacques, down the bottom, you pull the pin in the flagpole, sit them down, you do what you want, you work on it, put it back up. Ha, Baptiste. You always pick on me. You always think I am the dumb Frenchman. He said, this time you are the dumb Frenchman. I do not want the length, I want the height.
Wake up, Evan.
I don't know how much time you want to listen to this.
Hey, Evan, wake up.
That was not the French roll. You want me to tell about it?
A moose in the car?
I can tell about it. I have back in the woods the hunting fair. Before I take the hunter, they call, they write the letter, they say, we have come for a weekly hunt. Who'll be our guide and who take us through the woods and so forth. So I have a group come up one time, and on the wall of my cabin, I have the moose, the head and the neck of the moose mounted on the wood. And I have a group come up, about 5 guys, and I take them out to the cabin. They go in and they unpack their stuff, they put it in the bed and so forth. And I go out and I get in the wood shed, the killing to start the fire. I come back in and one of them is stand there and you look at the moose. And you say, Baptiste, where you shoot the moose? And I said, Baptiste does not shoot the moose. He says, I suppose you're going to tell me you killed him with a jackknife. No, but Baptiste does not shoot the moose. He says, well, how do you get the moose? And I say, well, it was a Sunday. And I want to go fish. It was the last day of the fishing season. I want to catch one. So I get up early in the morning and I get down to the bank of the river. And in my haste to get there early, to get the full day of the fishing, I have forgot to bring my boat. But I find some stuff I think to make. And I sit there on the bank, and just as I start to fish, I hear behind me the crash in the bush. And I look, and here comes, charge me out of the bush, this moose. Oh, I tell you, his head was down, he was snot fire from his nose, he was coming about 80 miles an hour. And I have nothing to defend myself with. I look in my tackle box, and in my tackle box I have the bottle of the iodine, the stuff you put on the cotton to do the racket. And in my haste to throw this at him, evidently I pull the cap from the bottle. And as I pull my hand back to throw it, I guess that scared him, so he stopped. And he turned, and he put up his tail and he started to run away. Well, I am halfway through my throw and I fire the bottle and I make the bull's eye. right below the tail with a higher knock. Oh, I tell you, that moose, he saw. He moaned, he groaned. He back up to the first tree he come to, he rubbed like a son. And he moaned, and he groaned, and he go up, and he go, I can hear him. He back up to the next tree, I can see in the forest, the tree shake. I said, boy, that poor son of a gun, I think I better follow him. So I go along through the forest on the trail that the moose does take, and I come to the tree here and there. I see where he rubbed, the bark is gone, and I can hear in the distance, he moaned and groaned. And when I finally catch up to him, that poor son of a gun had rubbed so much, the only thing left was the head in the net. You know, you say how you turn of the good, you get back. You do something for somebody, and you. Well, I was to go fish one day, and in fact, I get my story a little mixed up. Actually, with the moose, I did not run out of bait. It goes with this story. I get to fish, and I do not have the bait. So I look around, and I pick up the old dead log. I pick up the rock. I cannot even find the rock. Son of a gun, I look over, and there's a snake. He had a frog about half swallowed. He was heavy breakfast. I go over and I grab that snake, and I take away the frog. And I look at the snake, and he look at me, and the tear comes to his eye. He loses breath. So I cut up the frog to use for bait. And I look down, and the snake is still there, and he has all this sad. I said, son of a gun, I got to do something with this. He was good enough to give me bait. And I think in my pocket I have the bottle of the corn squeezing, stuff I make myself. You know, you take 2 swig of that, you go hunt the black bear with a yardstick. So I pick up the snake, and I give him a little drink. Corn squeezing. Oh, a big smile come on his face. I hook up the piece of the frog, I start to fish. I fish for about 10 minutes. Pretty soon I feel something on my boot. And I look down. And son of a gun, you know, it was that snake. He was back with another frog. You have always heard this story, and I will end up with this. If you put off to tomorrow, do not put off to tomorrow what today you do. And I tell you of the bumblebee. Oh, he was a big son of a man. He weighed about 2 pounds. He was fly around, and he get the honey. And son of a gun, he had a big load of honey. But he was kind of greedy. He wanted to get all he could. And he looked over, and there was a big clump of clover. He said, son of a gun, I go over there, I get small. So he go over and he land on the big clump of clover. And as he was there, now he's going to take him quite a while to do this because he almost spoiled. You know how, like, you put the last box in the van body with the last bucket full of gravel on it. Well, as he was there doing his thing, along came a big cow, and she wrapped her tongue right around that clover and swallowed the clover, bumblebee and all. Now, you're not supposed to do this to bumblebee. So the bumblebee, he tumbled around, and he ended up in the cow's stomach. And he looked around, and he said, son of a gun, I'm going to sting this cow to teach her a lesson, not to swallow the bumblebee. And he said, no, he said, I tie it. I have the big load of honey. He said, I take a nap. And when I wake up, I feel better. Then I sting the cow. Aha. This is where he made his mistake. Because for when he woke up, the cow, she was not there.
Thank you very much, Don. One more time, that's your job. That old hand-carved beach and kiln ride that never grows old. Well, Does anybody thought of anything else? Got anything they want to say? I guess that'll close it up for this year. So we got an event almost every weekend, so we'll probably run into one another all summer long. We'll buy in a hurry, I guess.
Get the rocket truck show.
Yeah, 18th.
Green Mountain Hall.
May.
Yeah.
May 18th and 19th in Rutland. Then, of course, we have the Granddaddy in Marlboro after that.
We have the Granite State, the Barrington.
Yep, Barrington.
So August 18th.
August 18th, Barrington.
The party is getting there the next night, the night before. All the party here.
Oh, okay.
Well, yes, and for your information, anybody that wants to come to we have the grill. We have, Mr. Norton and Company has volunteered to cook breakfast and comes expense, and we're going to split whatever's left from the chapter, which, on behalf of the chapter, Glenn, I more than say thank you. And it was a great time.
Does that do it? That's it? Okay. Gentlemen, start your engine.